And Mr. Speaker, I was remiss to miss the opportunity before when we had the retirement video that I did not have the opportunity to speak at that time, but knowing that I had the opportunity to speak now. And this will perhaps potentially be the last time I address the House of Representatives as a member of this esteemed body. And it's meant a great deal to me over these last 10 years. As many of you may remember, I entered this chamber a fairly young man, 24 years old, the youngest one here at that time, fresh out of graduate school, or still in graduate school actually when I got elected. And a lot has happened over that 10-year period. Some of you may remember that we're here at that time. All the business stopped in the building because I had to leave to go to my wedding back in 2011. And Representative Cafaro given me quite the send-off to be able to go off and do that, and a memory I'll have forever. In that time period as well, a few short years later, my daughter being born and being able to bring her in the chamber for the first time back in 2015, and the welcome that we received, and unfortunately being unable to bring her for the 5th time this year due to the circumstances. But that was a memory that myself and my family will forever have. And the ability to serve the people of East Windsor and Ellington has been a distinguished honor that I never would have expected to be able to do in my entire lifetime. And the fact that they have not only took a chance to elect me at the age of 24, but then continued to take that chance and send me back to represent them the last 5 elections is quite overwhelming, and something that will forever stay with me. And I hope that my time here has accomplished good, has accomplished positive things for my towns of East Windsor and Ellington, but also good for the entire state of Connecticut. And I always attempted to do things here in this chamber, votes, debates, conversations, in the most fair and non-partisan way as I possibly could. And I hope that it was clear through my actions that I believe it's our responsibility as members of this chamber to do what's in the best interest of the greatest amount of people at all times. And every time I cast a vote, I debated a bill, I spoke, it was with that in mind for not only my district, but also for the entire state of Connecticut. And the only way I was able to do a lot of what I was able to accomplish here in the building was because of the great faith put in by so many members here in my abilities. And that is especially true with Representative Claridis taking a chance on a 28-year-old kid and naming him ranking member of the Finance, Revenue, and Bonding Committee, which was a huge chance on her part, and one that I hope has worked out in the positive for both our caucus and also our state. It's been a privilege to serve in that position and have the interactions that I have had with so many people across the state, and trying to build economic development, provide a more affordable Connecticut for everyone. And I hope that now leaving that position, that again, more positive has come because of that. And there's been a lot of people that have helped me along the way. Representative Candelora, especially as a mentor. Other mentors like Larry Cafaro and Sean Williams, Bill Amon, John Fry, and many others that I owe a tremendous amount of gratitude to as well. But I'm certainly going to miss this place. I'm going to miss serving here. being able to represent the people of East Windsor and Ellington. But I know I've made the right decision, and I know that one thing I'm not going to miss is not being able to do things with my family. Like so many of us have to make that difficult decision to do oftentimes. And I'm very much looking forward to being able to spend more time with them, have a more regular schedule in order to do that. But I certainly hope that this is not the end of my activities in trying to shape the public policy of the state of Connecticut in one way or another, although I really have no interest in elected politics. I hope to stay engaged and continue to be a resource for anyone and to be engaged in helping shape that policy and better the state. So before I actually start crying, I'll stop and I'll say thank you so much to the people of East Windsor and Ellington for having that trust in me and sending me here for these last 10 years. And thank you to each and every one of you, especially Representative Rojas and my other kind chairman, Senator Fonfara, and my ranking members throughout the years as well, Senator France and Senator Witkos on finance, for the opportunity to serve and the opportunity to hopefully accomplish great things. And I really wish you all the best. And quite frankly, don't be afraid of finding that middle, finding that common ground. And that's always been my goal in trying to do that. And I fear that a lot of times in politics these days, we have moved away from that. And I'm hopeful that those of you who have the privilege of serving this great chamber in the future keep that in mind as we move forward as a state, that it's best interest for us to try to find that middle ground at all times. So thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the entire House of Representatives.
Representative Rojas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to take a moment to express my gratitude and thank you to Representative Davis for his service to our state. I remember when you were first elected, they had a reception in the lobby of the atrium of the LOB, and I met you. And I think you were headed into a PhD program at that time, maybe in political science, and all of us are somewhat political junkies. I remember how envious I was and how much respect I had for you because I worked in higher education at the time. Boy, would I have loved to have been in a PhD program, but I wasn't smart enough. And then obviously, you've made me such a better legislator because there's nothing more intimidating than seeing you stand up to start asking questions. And certainly, you know, as for anybody who's ever been a chair of a committee, when you work with a ranking member, you obviously get to know them really well. You become really good friends because you spend a lot of time with each other. And I've had the opportunity to learn so much from you. And obviously, I've over-prepared for everything, just like I over-prepared for this failure to file, because I was expecting that you would ask me a question, but of course, you're choosing not to do that. But just like the night that I read that you weren't running and I texted you and I said, say it ain't so, you know, definitely a loss to the state, definitely a loss to this institution. And I'm so proud that and lucky that I've been able to work with you over these last couple of years. And I'm also envious because like I told you that night, I would love to go spend more time with my family and on my career, but instead I'm digging myself deeper into this place. So again, thank you for your service to the state. It's been wonderful to work with you.